And here we go. Time for another episode of the SmackDown. For an episode of SmackDown on this Book Revolution Viewers mode. As we're live from Norfolk, Virginia, and your match card tonight is stacked. As for the first matchup, got Young Bucks against Rhino. Heat Slater. This would be a random X-Fist match, just to see which team could climb up power against, I guess you would say. Kevin Owens and Austin Aries. Of course, Owens won the main event against Dolph last week. Let's see how he will prevail against Austin Aries. That's if he does prevail, as Aries beat Curtis Axel last week. John Cena and Chris Hero. This is just a random match for both men. Let's see how each man could do against each other. It would definitely be a good contest. My bad. Ziggler and Jinder Mahal, ladies and gentlemen. Dolph Slater, of course, faced off against Cena. He ultimately lost last week in the main event, but let's see if he can be able to pick up victory here tonight. And of course, bouncing back from the rivalry storyline from Samoa Joe's open challenge last week, in which Cesaro answered it and Cesaro beat Joe. And then in which where we also had the match between Kota Ibushi and Rollins, in which Seth Rollins, in which Kota Ibushi won disqualification via Seth Rollins did himself disqualified, and so we're going to put those men in a tag team match. We got Seth Rollins, Samoa Joe versus Kota Ibushi and Cesaro in the main event. We are going to simply have one match besides the main event. Young Bucks and Rhino Heath Slater. Can the Young Bucks for Bull Cup can they will not. Ladies and gentlemen, Rhino Heath Slater, they pull off a major upset victory against the Young Bucks. That's gotta suck. And ladies and gentlemen, whoa, wait a second. The Owens and Austin Aries matchup was up next. As you right here, Kevin Owens attacking Austin Aries. Ladies and gentlemen, this backstage, and well, like I said, the Owens and Austin Aries matchup that was going to be simulated. Next up, apparently we're not going to see the outcome of the matchup because Kevin Owens is just attacking Austin Aries here, and Spinebuster. Owens bringing out a moveset that he has not probably used, and that Spinebuster definitely being one of them, I guess you say, as he uses that steel chair. Nothing fancy about that. And he has the brass knuckles as well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we don't know why Owens is doing this. Owens made a statement by beating Dolph Ziggler last week on SmackDown in the main event, and he beat Ziggler clean as well, I believe. And so, there's the brass knuckles right into the face of Austin Aries. And of course, Austin Aries did a squash match against Curtis Axel, in which Aries completely had an impressive showing of destroying Curtis Axel, and Owens had a way more tough matchup against Dolph Ziggler last week in SmackDown. And so, we don't know why Owens is doing this, but if anything, it's most likely making a bigger statement, one that's bigger than what he probably did last week, as he just power bombs Austin Aries off the steel steps, and this time into it, my God. Kevin Owens is basically not a pop-up power bomb. For this one, it's just going to be a regular power bomb, I guess you would say. Well, we need answers to this. We don't know to ask why Owens is doing this, but we know Austin Aries is not going to be able to compete for the rest of the night. Well, we're not going to have that Owens. We're definitely not going to have that Owens and Austin Aries matchup now, which is a bit of a shame. Well, we're going to simulate it. We were going to simulate the matchup, but just play along. Now, here we go. Chris Hero and John Cena. Both which two great wrestlers. Of course, Chris Hero also could be called by the name of Casizono or Casizono, whatever way you want to pronounce it, but I rather pronounce it as his independent wrestling scene name, Chris Hero. And it will be it's gonna be Super Cena. Ladies and gentlemen, John Cena picks up a victory against Chris Hero, against Casizono, whatever you want to call him. But John Cena gonna pick up victory against him, and now we got Ziggler and Jim Mahal. Of course, like what I said, Dolph Ziggler and not Jim Mahal, but Dolph Ziggler and Kevin Owens were on the main event of SmackDown, since they were two great showings of SmackDown, showing SmackDown's wrestling ability and their great wrestling talent, of how they have the way better roster than that of ECW and then that of Raw, and of how each other brand is a complete and utterly mess, especially in commentating, but how SmackDown's way better. And so us having superstars like Owens, like Ziggler, like Cena, like Ono or Hero, like the Young Bucks, like many others, like us and Aries as well. Like many others, Ibushi, Cesaro, Seth Rollins, Samoa Joe, your men in the main event as Ziggler beats Jinder Mahal. I was getting carried away talking about how much better SmackDown is than Raw and ECW. But anyway, here we go. Tag team matchup, your main event. This one is not going to be submitted. So, like I said, backstory of this one. Well, Cesaro did defeat Samoa Joe last week on SmackDown via Samoa Joe's Open Challenge. And Samoa Joe lost his own Open Challenge, surprisingly. Well, we didn't know the opponent. We thought it was going to be like another jobber or mid-carder, but nope. It was Cesaro. A man is going to get pushed into the moon because his wrestling ability, but probably just spoiled that, but we don't know when. Anyway, and of course, we got the Rollins and Kota Ibushi set up. As you see right there, Cesaro immediately targeted Samoa Joe, drawing him into the steel steps with that baby or Hercules suplex, and now slammed him down onto those broken steel steps. And now the setup for this whole Seth Rollins and Kota Ibushi thing has basically also been since last week. Kota Ibushi and Seth Rollins just having a random exhibition matchup on SmackDown just to see who's the better competitor. Well, at least as of now, currently, and as of like last week, last episode, and it, for a while there ended up being like it was gonna be Rollins until Kota Ibushi just turned the tables out complete and utterly nowhere. Then Rollins had a couple more momentum for a couple more seconds, and then that Ibushi ultimately S-tier their Nets Nuggets. That's how long ago I recorded this, just saying. The Nets are currently facing off against the Lakers by the time I am doing my voiceover video. By the time I'm doing my voiceover for this video, the Nets are taking on the Lakers currently. It's over 10:30. And that's how long ago I recorded this episode, but just play along because I was just too lazy to do a voiceover. So this episode was supposed to come out like last week, but I was just too lazy. Anyway, play along with this. Well, at least this clip came out last week. So, and of course, the Rollins and the Ibushi matchup was ultimately ended via disqualification, which was kind of, at this point, ended to probably the best matchup of the night. While Owens and Ziggler was a good one. If Ziggler and Ibushi went on for a little bit longer, then definitely will have been a better matchup. And speaking of the Nets and Lakers, and the first quarter Lakers are beating the Nets 30-29. Hooray. Anyway, I want the Nets to win. But anyway, that's completely random. This commentary sucks. Cesaro nails the power driver on Seth Rollins, and now Rollins. So I guess I could say the rivalries are a bit mixed up now. So we got Seth Rollins and Cesaro and Samoa Joe and Kota Ibushi here. As I guess you could say they switched up the roles right now. Got Cesaro trying to gain some momentum. So imagine this was fair for it. Imagine this was not a tag team matchup. If this was fair for it, it would definitely be a title matchup. As see there's Samoa Joe, Brainbuster, and Kota Ibushi. That was devastating, but see Ibushi immediately gonna get back up. He missed the spin heel kick though. But nails the front for 50 splash on Rollins, and then after that, Joe goes off the top rope, lands on almost everyone. Cesaro about to go for a bed suplex there, but no, see Rollins counters a little bit. Now Cesaro going to counter back to his own shift of said momentum. Nails the DT as Joe nails the powerbomb on Kota Ibushi. And now Cesaro going to try to break it up, and no, Ibushi going to kick out at 2 before Cesaro couldn't connect with that knee drop. Now Joe going to try to steal the victory with the small package, but no, Cesaro DTs Rollins into the small package. Takes out 2 for 1. That was smart on the ways of Cesaro, I guess you would say. As he nails the pivot body drop right onto Rollins. Rollins went flying. So we're back into this whole powerhouse matchup between Joe and Cesaro. Okay, now mind Kota Ibushi came out of nowhere. And Rollins out of nowhere with that super kick on Cesaro just moments ago. And now Rollins in horrible predicament as he is going to fall right into our announce table. I know we could have sold our enthusiasm for that a little bit more, but okay with her. As Joe going to go off the top rope, nails the clothesline on both Ibushi and Cesaro. 2 for 1 special right there. Nails power driver on Kota Ibushi. Cesaro is back up to his feet though. has Joe off the ropes, nails a bit by dropping to a big man, and now both a 450 splash by Kota Ibushi and a knee drop from Cesaro to Samoa Joe. Nice, somewhat double team there, but you can tell it was definitely accidental. As Bushi going to be going for a pin, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently Cesaro, he's not done with Samoa Joe. Another big by drop. But now, is this costly? Joe just getting stomped on like a mud hole here. And ladies and gentlemen, what? Apparently Seth Rollins just pinned Kota Ibushi. We didn't get a camera angle on that, but whatever. That's a disappointing way. We didn't get a camera angle, but while Cesaro was just stomping a complete and early mud hole onto Samoa Joe, well, that just happened. Well, we don't know how Rollins necessarily pinned Kota Ibushi, but we know that Rollins pinned Ibushi. So now, could that have been the outcome for last week's matchup if Rollins never decides to get disqualified? We will never know. Hopefully this will develop into next SmackDown episode storyline. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. That was episode 2. Well, week 2 of SmackDown for this universe mode. Thanks for watching, and bye. As the next episode will be week 3 of Raw.